I have about 5 minutes for a quick synthesis of what we think you've heard today before we open it up for our panel discussion. So the synthesis is really, what do we know about taste and food choice? And I think what we know is much as unknown about the complex factors that determine taste, perception, and liking. So we heard about taste biology, receptor function, neurological cascades. We heard about the biological perception of taste, which is overlaid with hedonics, liking, and experience. And we know that we can potentially modify preference. So of the modalities of taste that we've heard about and the intersection between both, what's to me has really come out is that there are so many interconnections that it's almost impossible to figure out. And this could be paralyzing for many of us who want to move forward and truly close gaps. So how do we go about doing that? I do think that understanding the interactions of taste modalities and sensory properties is important. And this is progress in alignment with the dietary guidelines, which might be facilitated by improving interactions with perception, sensory perception, as well as other factors that influence likes and dislikes, as Deborah had sort of alluded to in terms of presentation, etc. In addition, we know that we've had various tools described that have proven successful for product innovation up to a point. And the big question is, how do we take the next step? So modification of the external experience does hold promise. The big question is, which one do we, how do we prioritize, which experience do we try to modify? So there's potential to build on taste preferences thresholds with conditioning or modification of the external factors. And what's frightening is that perhaps we should really be focusing on the prenatal situation and what's on a mother's diet, in a mother's diet, and recommendations for foods consumed during pregnancy. Just a thought. In addition, we have a lot of changing thoughts about foods that could be used as an avenue to better understanding what is liking or disliking of specific tastes or foods. So where do we go from here? I think breakthroughs are really needed, and this can be in food innovation, understanding biology, understanding taste interactions, and modification of preferences and liking. And the application of knowledge that we've heard about today related to exposure, presentation, and conditioning and context are key to all of this. So I'd like to invite the panelists or the speakers to come up to join us in the panel, and we can engage in some lively discussion with the audience.